Welcome to the Melissa Banks Show. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. I'm excited you decided to be with us today. This show is all about celebrating the journeys of authors, entrepreneurs, and people who are boldly chasing their dreams, creating meaningful products and services, and inspiring others to do the same. Each episode will uncover the stories behind the successes, the lessons learned from the challenges, and the advice that can spark action in your own life. My goal is simple, is to remind you that your dreams are possible and to leave you feeling inspired and empowered. So let's get started with today's show. Our guest today is Colette Harrell, who has an incredible story to share with us. Welcome to the show, Colette.
Thank you so much for having me, Melissa. I'm excited to be here. And hello to everyone who tuned in.
Okay, Colette. Now, on this show, I like to just start at the beginning of the journey. So, talk to us about what sparked this journey of yours, entrepreneur, author, and how did you turn that dream into your reality?
Well, first of all, I want to say that a dream is something that God gives you and that you manifest when it becomes a plan. And I actually started telling stories to my nieces, my nephews when they were babies, and I found out I was pretty good at it. And that kind of evolved to me telling larger stories. And so when I was around 16 years old, I got the chicken pox. And at 16, if anyone knows, that's pretty late to get a disease like the chicken pox. So I was pretty bad off. And I had a very good friend, my best friend. She would write a story and put it in my mailbox and go to school. And I would take it out of the mailbox and write the rest of the story, put it back in the mailbox, and she'd pick it up on her way home. That began my love of telling a story. And I have been pursuing that in my mind for a very long time. And as I got older, I thought this is something I need to put pen to paper, and I began to write. And I first served. And I just had this conversation with someone that many times God will have you serve in the capacity He will one day have you reigning in. And I was serving a best-selling author, just praying for her, just following her, doing everything I could to encourage her. And she didn't even know I wanted to write. And so years later, when I started writing, she was the person who edited that first book for me. And that was Victoria Christopher Murray, now New York Times best-selling author. So that began the process of I can do this. I had some coaching, I had some help, and I learned the lessons. I'm still learning the lessons. I still have a book coach. So journeys are all about the process. So this process, and I want to encourage people, once you do start doing what you love to do, what your passion is, don't ever stop learning in that field. So that's where I am now.
I love that. You share so many great nuggets, and I don't want people to miss it. First of all, our dream is placed in us even before we recognize that it's there. It's up to us to manifest it. Another thing that you shared that I want people to get, though, is that the pieces were there along the process, right? It didn't get stagnated, it kept moving through it. And the big thing is never stop learning. I just think so many of us think we got it and then we stop. Say, oh, I've gotten all I need to, so I'm going to stop right here. And that's the thing that kills our dreams, really, is
I
to
think
stop
so.
there. I definitely believe that. So thank you for
Yes.
sharing that.
You're
So
welcome.
so Colette, in my journey, I have different moments. Now, when I first started 26 years ago, I had this one moment that I defined. This was the turning moment. This is what changed everything. But as I went through my journey, I have other moments that I started saying, "Oh, this is a defining moment, and this is changing something in me right here." Is there a defining moment or a turning point for you that you could share with us today, and how it's been able to shape who you are today?
Oh, wow. What a good question and a hard question because I believe, the word says we die daily. So there's so many defining moments along the way.
Mhm.
I think one of my defining moments was that the person that God chose for me to serve ended up being the same person who turned around and taught me so much. And I think sometimes we look to do, everything becomes transactional. And I learned that life is relational and that we end up being able to pour in and then others will pour into us. So I think my moment of reality came when I found out in the background, a guy was actually playing chess and I was thinking we were doing checkers. And I found out that if I just allow him to lead me, if I just stay obedient, that the defining moments will come and they will come consecutively. We won't just stop on a step, but we'll continue. Even when we step down a couple of steps, we'll continue to keep going forward.
Absolutely, and that's a great thing to share. I didn't have that realization that you have. So I thought this big thing that started it all, this was the defining moment. But as I grew, I saw there's so many moments along that way that are defining moments, and that has helped me grow. Helped me be willing to step in some areas that wasn't my plan, but it was part of the plan. So
Right.
I just
That's
love you
right.
sharing that. Thank you for that. So that's
So
one of the things I'd like to talk about, Colette, is we tend to share the juicy good stuff about the journey, right? We share the celebrations. We don't, and we talk about the wins. But you and I both know that on this journey, and everybody's journey, have some challenges along the way. So to talk to us about a challenge that you can share with us, and share with us how you were able to overcome that challenge.
Oh wow. You are really digging deep. So I call I call those faith shaker moments.
Hmm.
I call those the faith shakers. I call those I'm doing everything God told me to do and it's still not working.
Mm.
And how do I continue on when I just want to go home and shut the door? I'm having meetings and very few people are showing. I'm making phone calls, very few people are answering. I'm getting a lot of excuses instead of accomplishments and assistance. And I just think that maybe I wasn't supposed to do this.
Mm.
And I'm not going to give you any particular, because I do retreats, because I facilitate literary events. I don't even want to give you one particular event. I want to say it's part of every process of you imagining the worst and then the best happens because you kept going.
Mhm. Mhm.
And even in your imagination, things didn't go as well as you thought they did. And then you get the feedback and you found out it met the need that God needed you to meet. And so I think that we manifest his glory when we move forward, even when we can't see the end. And so for me, that's the transformation part. And for me, that's the part where we pull up our big pants and keep stepping forward, even when things don't go well. And I don't have one event that things did not go well. Every event, something doesn't occur the way you wanted it to. Thank God for the people who come and hold your arms up like Aaron and say, we got you. And I have so many beautiful volunteers and close friends that didn't fail me. So I was able to keep going forward.
I love that. Well, first of all, faith checker moments. I will be stealing that. I'll try to put your name beside it when I steal it, but no.
Only 3 times. Somebody said you only have to say where you got it from 3 times, then it's yours.
I have never heard anybody say that before, but those three words are powerful though, because I've had moments where things weren't going well, that it seemed to be more no's than yeses, that I was too afraid. I felt like I wasn't moving. So to say this is faith checker moments, that is so big and so huge. I absolutely love that. But the key is what you just said. Even in those moments, you keep going, because even on those events that things didn't work out perfect, and I've been an event planner for 26 years, very few events work out perfect. I'm just
That's
going to say
right. That's
that.
right. That's right.
But you kept going and didn't let it stop you. So I absolutely, absolutely love that. So let's talk about your new book, Chasing Different. Congratulations on it. I when I that popped up today, I saw it today, and I thought, oh, what a great day for me to see this. I'm going to be talking to you. So talk to us about the new book. Tell us about it, a little bit about it, and how you hope it will impact others.
Well, first of all, Chasing Different is about two protagonists that are very flawed. I take them on a journey of self discovery. I take them on a journey of self acceptance. My male protagonist is neurodivergent, and my female protagonist is a cowardly lion. Okay, and
Mhm.
so here she is, this shy librarian, and he's this patron that, and I don't want to give too much away, but he's this patron that has fallen for her, but he's a little different. He's a little loud. He's a little socially awkward. And so things are not perfect. He doesn't fit everything on her list. And she's also embarrassed. People are teasing her. Oh, you're the nerdy guy likes you. Oh, the really weird guy likes you. And because it's an inspirational thriller, there is a diabolical book, y'all. And the book needs blood from the legacy in order for it to prophesize disasters. And it has made 5 families extremely rich, and they are controlling the world behind the scenes. And in comes cowardly Nia, who ends up with the book. And I won't say anything more about it. But when you chase different, different happens.
Oh, I love it, love it, love it, love it. Let me just reset for a moment, Colette. If you're just joining us, this is the Melissa Banks Show. Our guest today is author entrepreneur Colette Harrell. I would say, okay, Colette, talk to us about, share with us a lesson learned on your journey, something that you took away, something that really just impacted you. I'm sure it was probably lots of things, but if you can pick one, just talk to us about it and how it's impacted who you are today.
You know, I've always wanted to help people. And in helping people, I wanted them to be happy. And what I have learned in this journey is that I'm not responsible for other people's happiness or success. I can assist them, I can cheer for them, I can pray for them, but I cannot do it for them. And in learning that, and I think I posted something about that today, I learned not to allow people to sit up and have rent in my head.
Mm.
Because then I even made a point like, do you know how much real estate costs today?
Mhm.
You can't let people set up rent in your head. And so when you can do what you have been assigned to do and let that be your joy, then you end up being present in every moment, and end up having a much happier life. And so it took a long time to get to this lesson, but I'm feeling real free right about now. And so I'm really happy for the people assigned to me, and I'm really happy for their journeys, but I understand it's not my job to complete their journey.
And you know what, Colette? That is a huge place to be, right? So, have you ever been so focused on someone else getting it that you lost focus on you? So, once you
Absolutely.
realize that, what a big place to be. So, Colette, I don't know if you know people like this, but I know so many people like this, and they have this dream, and it's right here, it's in their belly. And every time you talk to them, every time you're around them, they're talking about this dream. They have a plan. They wrote it all out. It's on the wall. But, sometimes starting is the hardest part. So, what advice would you give to someone who's done all of that? They haven't taken that first step toward their dream. What advice would you have for them?
The first advice I would have is that you could do it. And I want you to throw away your measuring stick. I want you to stop measuring yourself by everyone around you. And I want you to get God's measuring stick for you. that is ultimately bigger, wider, and longer than anything you could ever imagine. And I want you to really believe that what he put in you, he can bring out of you. And I want you to sit down and start. And if it's even one sentence, if it's even one phone call, if it's even one research step, do it. You are capable, you are able. If he gave it to you, I cannot wait to applaud you, to see you post, to see you arrive to where he has meant for you to go. It is not just in the destination, it is in the process. Take your first step.
There you go, folks. Take the first step. It just takes one step, right? Once
That's
you take
right.
that first step, then the other will come. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about this journey, the author journey, the entrepreneur journey. Now we show up and make it look so easy. Somebody sitting over there across the room think, "Wow, that must be the life." But you and I both know that every day is not easy. Sometimes things are busy, you got things going in every direction, life hits, like you shared something earlier with us. So a lot can be happening on that entrepreneur journey, but we show up smiling like it's all
We
easy. So
do.
talk
We
to
do.
us about you in that moment when you have a lot of things happening, life is happening. How do you stay motivated and focused on your goals during those times?
Well, sometimes it's hard. And I mean, there are days when I have to give myself the allowance to sit still. There are days that I have to step back and say, this is not going to be a day that I'm going to be able to show up the way I would like to. So I'm going to step back from the process and I'm going to refuel. And refueling is really important. And maybe it's getting on the phone with someone and praying. Maybe it's just spending time with your spouse, your children, your grandchildren. A lot of times their hugs refuel me. Sometimes just going on an outing with them realigns my thought process and realigns my priorities and lets me know, yes, I am doing these events. I am doing this book, but I also have a life that needs to be led. And so I think when you allow yourself those small times to take a step back, it allows you to refuel to go even further. I think that the race was not given to the swift, but it was given to the people who endure. And so don't feel like you have to push through everything. Some things you have to sit back and you'll get an answer just in the quiet moments of doing it better than what you thought you needed to do it. And sometimes the person that doesn't show up, he'll give you someone else that'll come with resources to bring you even further. So if we just trust, if we just have faith, if we just believe that it's going to happen, then we can continue to work towards that ultimate goal of the success that we envision.
Absolutely. And you know what? You One of the things that you said that always that stand out to me, and it had to be recently that I gave myself permission to step back. We think that if we stepping back, that means we're giving up. That means
That's right.
we're quitting. That means we're not doing enough work. But give yourself permission to go hang out with the grandkids, or for me, one of the things I enjoy is having a cup of coffee just with a peppermint in it. I know that sounds weird, but
No, it's lovely.
that's my moment when I can just sit with that moment. But I had to give myself permission. But to be able to keep going to get to where you're supposed to be, you still have to do that. Colette, this has been just an amazing conversation with you. I have just enjoyed every single moment. I have so many nuggets that you dropped in this conversation. Thank you for
Thank
being here.
you.
So, talk to us. What's next for you? What can we look forward to? And also let our audience know how they can stay connected and support you.
I appreciate that so much. So, Chasing Different is out. The next book to come out from Chasing Different is Finding Different. And I'm staying in that different phase, excuse me. The first one is neurodivergency. And the second one, my female protagonist has a split personality. And so I'm continuing to use people who other people feel are unusable, maybe. And so I want to celebrate those people who push through anyhow. And in addition to that, I just had my second annual Juneteenth Bash, Black Authors Spotlight on Heritage, where I celebrate African American authors. I don't charge for tables. I don't charge attendance fee. I don't charge for vending fee. And I'm telling you, we had 825 participants 2 weeks ago, Juneteenth weekend, and it was fantastic. Band, food, DJ, photo booth, face painting. The children wrote their own books and took them home. So just an exciting time to have. We also partnered with some other agencies, and it was fantastic. Look for me on my website, ColetteHarrell.com, and you will see in 2026, we will be doing the Juneteenth Bash third annual. And I will also be doing our writers retreat in 2026. So look, continue to follow me on my website, on my social media, Colette Harrell on Facebook. But also if you sign up as an email list on my website, ColetteHarrell.com, you'll stay up on my current news.
Well, thank you again for being here. It's been such an honor having you. And thank you to our audience for joining us today for the Melissa Banks Show. I hope today's conversation with author entrepreneur Colette Harrell reminded you that your dreams are within reach, no matter where you're starting. So I'm your host, Melissa Banks, saying your journey is unique, your dreams are valid, and you have the power to design the life you love. Keep believing, keep growing, and keep shining. We'll see you next time.